cathedral erupts in applause as the sun rises on a new era for the Diocese of Palm Beach.
I am feeling overjoyed, grateful, and very, very humble.
Bishop Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez is ordained and installed to serve thousands of faithful in Florida. But before his ministry on the sand, he was bringing Christ to Corona. He served all of God's people as a pastor in Queens, including the unborn, the poor, and the migrants like himself trying to make a new home. And tonight, we are honoring this pastor with a shepherd's heart. Next, on this special edition of Currents News, the ministry of Bishop Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez, the 6th Bishop of Palm Beach. We honor a priest from the Diocese of Brooklyn who is now spreading the faith in the Sunshine State. The Diocese of Palm Beach has installed its 6th bishop, Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez, a name that is much beloved for the people of Corona. For years, Currents News and The Tablet have followed his journey from Queens to Palm Beach. Currents News' Katie Vasquez was at the Cathedral of St. Ignatius Loyola for the historic Mass.
After serving the Diocese of Brooklyn for more than 17 years, Bishop Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez will now begin his tenure in the Diocese of Palm Beach. He was officially ordained and installed on Tuesday. Childhood friends, family, Diocese of Brooklyn priests, and many others made the journey to be part of this historic event. Take a look. From those waiting outside to the packed pews inside the Cathedral of St. Ignatius Loyola, there was a lot of enthusiasm as the faithful prepared for their new shepherd, Bishop Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez.
I am feeling overjoyed, grateful, and very, very humble.
The former Diocese of Brooklyn priest was ordained a bishop, a sacrament that began by the Apostolic Nuncio of the United States, Cardinal Christophe Pierre, reading the papal mandate authorizing the ordination. Bishop Rodríguez presented the document to the crowd in the pews, many cheering him on. Bishop Rodríguez made 9 promises to God and Church, including a commitment to uphold and teach the faith. Bishop Rodríguez then prostrated before the altar for the Litany of the Saints, asking the holy men and women to guide him in his new ministry. His brother bishops all laid hands on him, invoking the Holy Spirit.
Spiritual blessing.
As a symbol of the outpouring of the Holy Spirit, Archbishop Thomas Wensky of the Archdiocese of Miami anointed Bishop Rodríguez with oil. He was then handed his mitre and crozier before he took his place at the cathedra, officially making him the 6th Bishop of Palm Beach. Despite the storm in New York, faithful from the Diocese of Brooklyn were there to celebrate the new bishop.
I'm a representation for all the youth that couldn't be here, especially for all the immigrants' families that most of the kids come from immigrant families.
It was very important to make it here because of the pride that there is of another priest of Brooklyn, not only becoming a bishop, but also coming to lead this Diocese of Palm Beach.
Bishop Rodríguez's mother traveled from the Dominican Republic because she wasn't going to miss her son's big moment. He also thought something like this would not have been possible. I pray to God that he can do the important job that has been bestowed upon him. It was bittersweet for Brooklyn Bishop Robert Brennan, who co-consecrated the Mass. He is overjoyed to welcome a new bishop, but sad to lose a devoted priest.
A tinge of sadness, but you know, on the other hand, maybe it's just that the family's gotten bigger. We know we all have new friends down here in Palm Beach.
And as he begins this new role, Bishop Rodríguez has a mission for the Diocese of Palm Beach.
I want to be a bishop that is also helping creating more bridges. When people are helped and accompanied by appreciating their origins, their roots, engaging the local pastors. That fosters faith and makes faith grow.
Bishop Rodríguez has already begun visiting parishes and getting to know his flock. He's eager to continue working with the many ministries across the diocese. In Palm Beach, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
Also happening at the Mass, a longtime friend of Bishop Rodríguez showed his support to the new shepherd through song. Como pastor según su amor. Emmanuel Roque wrote this song called Corazón de Pastor, or Pastor's Heart, for Bishop Rodríguez. The two were born in the same city, went to the same school in the Dominican Republic, and eventually both came to serve the people of the Diocese of Brooklyn. Then Father Rodríguez would oftentimes ask Emmanuel to sing at different church events, and when the call came for Bishop Rodríguez to go to Palm Beach, Emmanuel wrote this song for him. It talks about his life, ministry, and role as a pastoral leader.
He's someone that I know very much, and I admire him so much because he has accomplished so many good things, especially for the people. Not only for him, because he's a person that is for the people. He's always willing to help. He's a true pastor.
Roque currently serves as the music director for Blessed Sacrament Parish in Jackson Heights, Queens. He says there's also a more personal version of the song that he did not play at the installation. Bishop Rodríguez takes the helm from Bishop Emeritus Gerald Barbarito, another priest from the Diocese of Brooklyn. He told Currents News Bishop Rodríguez is a good fit for Palm Beach.
When I heard he was from Brooklyn, when I heard he was a Salesian, so many things, I said, oh, this is the man here. And my gut feeling was proved right.
Bishop Barbarito will stay in the Diocese of Palm Beach in his retirement. The night before the ordination and installation, the community gathered to pray for the incoming bishop. Then Bishop-elect Rodríguez entered the Palm Beach Cathedral for Vespers as Hispanic ministries played music outside. Brooklyn's Bishop Brennan and Auxiliary Bishop Emeritus Octavio Cisneros, as well as Palm Beach's Bishop Emeritus Barbarito, were in attendance. There were readings in multiple languages and even a performance by the Notre Dame Haitian Mission. Bishop Brennan offered the homily and told the Florida faithful that they were in good hands.
You will come to know his boundless energy with a voice that sometimes can be booming with exuberant joy and sometimes can be soothing and gentle with tender and authentic compassion. You will know his moral courage and his deep love for Jesus Christ, the true Good Shepherd.
Bishop Rodríguez offered remarks at the end, thanking Bishop Brennan for being his mentor during his priesthood. The new Bishop of Palm Beach ended his remarks by speaking in the multiple languages of the diocese, including Creole, Tagalog, Spanish, and Vietnamese. You can watch the full Vespers service on our socials. Just follow Currents News and the tablet online to see the full prayer service for Bishop Rodríguez. Bishop Rodríguez celebrated his last Sunday Mass at Our Lady of Sorrows on February 15th. And as Currents News' Katie Vasquez reports, it was a service that brought smiles and tears to the packed church.
This is probably the last time Bishop-elect Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez will lead the procession at Our Lady of Sorrows Church, or bless the altar in Corona, where he's been pastor since 2020. The pews were packed, some even sitting at the bottom of the altar to say farewell to the new shepherd of Palm Beach.
This is a very tough day for me because this day concludes my 17 years in the diocese, as a priest.
Matthew DeLuna was master of ceremonies at the Mass, but has known Bishop-elect Rodríguez since he was at St. Michael's Church between 2009 and 2011. It was part of the reason he is discerning the priesthood.
Seeing his presence there, his pastoral care, really it sends signals through me saying that maybe one day I want to do that.
During his homily at the Spanish Mass, Bishop-elect Rodríguez talked about the privilege of being part of the diocese and advised his flock to remain committed to the parish.
The faith that we have been blessed with is to be transmitted and to be shared in a world that is unfortunately growing in animosity, confrontation, and violence.
As part of the offertory, he received various items like a basketball, soccer ball, and a pro-life placard, all representing the various ministries of the parish. The parishioners also gifted him a mitre and a crozier as he embarks in his new role.
It's very emotional, and I am very, very overwhelmed with love and affection.
And after Mass, a crowd gathered around him to offer their appreciation, including parishioners from his past.
We just love him so much.
Came back whenever we needed him.
Yeah, he's always been in our lives, regardless of what it was. If we needed to talk to him, he was always there.
And while this goodbye is bittersweet, many say it's well earned.
We have to give him away. We have to give him to another diocese, and that part is going to be tough, but well deserved.
It's an end of an era for us here in the Diocese of Brooklyn, but the Diocese of Palm Beach has a worthy shepherd who loves God first and loves his people.
In Corona, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
It's obvious Bishop Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez made a lasting impact on the Diocese of Brooklyn. Up next, we'll look back at when he started at Our Lady of Sorrows, when he was named pastor at the Corona Church, his final assignment in the diocese. From serving the poor to walking with migrants to defending the unborn, the many ministries he led with passion, and the profound influence he had on the young people of the diocese. We'll be right back. For nearly 2 decades, Bishop Rodríguez had been a familiar and steadfast presence in Brooklyn and Queens. One of his most impactful chapters unfolded at Our Lady of Sorrows Church in Corona, his final assignment in the diocese. When he was installed as pastor, he stepped into big shoes and into an unprecedented moment, guiding his parish community through the uncertainty of the pandemic. Currents News' Jessica Easthope looks back at the beginning of that ministry in 2020.
As the new pastor, Father Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez isn't wasting any time when it comes to ministering to the parishioners of Our Lady of Sorrows Church in Corona, Queens. A vibrant community that's been devastated by the COVID-19 outbreak.
The church is committed to keep serving this neighborhood and offering any possible help that we can offer with the recovery and the overcoming of this terrible ordeal.
Before taking over at Our Lady of Sorrows, Father Manuel spent 6 years as the pastor of Presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary in Jamaica, another neighborhood hit hard by the virus. Now his new assignment brings more challenges. Overcoming the pandemic will be a long road for the people of Corona. According to the New York City Department of Health, COVID-19 has killed 3,026 people in Queens. Nearly 80 of those deaths were in Jamaica, whereas in Corona, there have been 442 deaths. The parish was shaken when its previous pastor, Monsignor Raymond Rodin, contracted the virus. His recovery took a toll, and he wasn't able to resume his duties as the church's leader.
He couldn't reopen on May 26 because he was himself very challenged, but he left the parish ready for the reopening, and I am very grateful.
Now, Father Manuel is coming in at a time when the neighborhood is still struggling to conquer coronavirus, but the heavily Hispanic community is once again leaning on its faith. Compared to other churches where many parishioners are still hesitant to return, at Our Lady of Sorrows, more than 1,200 people attended Mass last weekend.
They really are committed to coming back from the virus closure. It's been really positive and outstanding. Hola, Roman.
Father Manuel is gentle with his parishioners, though he towers over most of them. But when it comes to fighting the virus alongside them, his promise is to be fierce.
That was Jessica Easthope reporting. As COVID-19 took its toll, families in the Diocese of Brooklyn were left grieving and struggling to cover funeral costs. Our Lady of Sorrows stepped in with hands-on support. The parish appointed a case manager to help families gather documents and complete funeral assistance applications, making sure no one got lost in the process. Bishop Rodríguez oversaw the effort, offering guidance and encouragement to parishioners in their time of need. This local support helped families access federal funds and ease the burden. Bishop Rodríguez didn't stop with COVID relief. He also turned his attention to the homeless in Corona. He opened a food pantry in September of 2023 to feed the hungry each week. But the need kept growing, and the parish pantry struggled to keep up. After seeing a Currents News report, a local soup kitchen stepped in to provide additional resources, allowing the pantry to feed hundreds more and add a second monthly distribution day. As a migrant himself, Bishop Rodríguez was also a godsend for the immigrant community of Corona. When a parishioner's pregnant wife and 2 children went missing after ICE detained them, he and his team at Our Lady of Sorrows stepped in, offering prayer, support, and help navigating the system. At the same time, he's also been an advocate for the unborn. He organized regular demonstrations outside more than a dozen clinics in Corona. And at his previous parish, Presentation of the Blessed Virgin Mary in Jamaica, then Father Manuel celebrated monthly pro-life masses before leading parishioners to a nearby clinic to pray the rosary outside. But his ministry wasn't only on the streets and in the pews, it also extended to the parking lot. As pastor of one of the most attended churches in the diocese, a few years ago, he answered a call for volunteers to help drivers find a space so they could attend Mass. That parking ministry turned what was once a challenge into a true calling. In Corona, Queens, space is hard to find, parking spots especially. But here at Our Lady of Sorrows Church, finding a spot is part of a ministry.
Our goal is to getting in the people getting in time on the Mass. So sometimes people come late, come running late. So I said, listen, if you want to come early in the Mass to be on time, you got to come early. You got to wake up early, get ready to come to Mass.
The parking ministry's mission, keep the faith and the traffic flowing, because without them,
total chaos.
The pastor, Father Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez, created this ministry in 2021, something he said was urgently needed.
We have, these constant fights and arguments and disruptions in the parking lot, also around the block.
There are lines of cars and lines of people outside the church each Sunday. That's because Hispanic Catholics come here from all over the Diocese of Brooklyn and beyond, even from as far away as New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. Packing the pews of the church every single week.
Once you find the church that better fits your spiritual needs, you don't give that up at all. You stick to that because there is where you feel home.
And this parish home continues to grow as the neighborhood around it gets more crowded. But thanks to the parking ministry, there's space for everyone.
She said ever since Father Manuel installed the parking ministry, it has brought a lot of peace among the parishioners because parking in Corona is like hitting the lottery, very slim. And she does this with a lot of love because she just wants to ensure that everybody has a beautiful experience as they come here to receive Mass.
On Sundays, parishioners at Our Lady of Sorrows celebrate Mass from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So the parking ministry gets there early and takes turns attending Mass themselves. Still to come on this special edition of Currents News, he just became a bishop, but the young people of Corona will always remember him as Father Manuel. The deep impact this priest had on the next generation and the powerful example he leaves behind. Bishop Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez is leading hundreds of thousands of Catholics as shepherd of Palm Beach. But his legacy as a priest of the people will always be strong in the Diocese of Brooklyn. A big part of his ministry here was young people. He was not only the pastor of Our Lady of Sorrows Church in Corona, but he was a guiding light for the students of its Catholic academy next door. Bishop Rodríguez taught them to live and act out their faith. And one of the ways he did that was by bringing them the example of the first millennial saint, Carlo Acutis. Current News' Katie Vasquez has that story.
And remember, the Eucharist is the highway to heaven.
Chloe Chavez says she can watch this video over and over again. It's not from TikTok or Instagram. It was personally sent to her from the mother of what could be the first millennial saint, Blessed Carlo Acutis.
I was kind of surprised.
Chloe first learned about Blessed Carlo at her school, Our Lady of Sorrows Catholic Academy, a relic of the Italian boy who died at 15 from leukemia, stopped at the Corona Queen School. When she touched the few pieces of his hair, he touched her heart.
I admire him because he's young like me, I can relate to him.
She started learning about the teen, how he brought people around the world closer to Christ by creating a website of all the Eucharistic miracles.
For me, it was a blessing because the school exposed them to this young boy that was always with a book bag, talking about Christ, wearing Nikes, the same clothes that we wear.
Chloe's family is part of the Neo-Catechumenal Way, a spiritual movement designed to deepen the faith of its members through ongoing formation. When a fellow Neo-Cat spotted Carlo's mother, Antonia Salzano, at a conference in Manhattan, she told her about Chloe, and Antonia sent her a special message.
Chloe, I wanted to say hello to you. I know you love Carlo very much, and Carlo loves you very much.
A soon-to-be saint, mother, send me a video. That's crazy to me.
And even crazier, Antonia gave her a tiny piece of the future saint.
So this relic is a piece of his sweater.
Word soon spread around school about the video.
They were, let me tell you, when I showed them this video, they couldn't, their mouth, when their jaw dropped.
That was Katie Vasquez reporting. While Bishop Rodríguez is no longer the pastor here at Our Lady of Sorrows, the legacy of this Diocese of Brooklyn priest will continue to live on for decades to come. Bishop Rodríguez installed this statue of St. Carlo Acutis to sit inside the Queen's Church to remind the kids of this amazing example of faith. But many would say the best example came from the pastor who showed them how to best follow Christ. That is this special edition of Currents News. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Before we go, we take one last look at the amazing ordination and installation of Bishop Manuel de Jesús Rodríguez. Hope to see you again next time.
Joins you in prayer as this diocese welcomes its new bishop.